It's like a month old, but I feel like it's like perfect time to like react to everything, especially what's going on, and you know what I'm saying. Finally getting the entire um, book and timeline of everything that's being thrown at them, what's going down, and stuff like that. Let me know you guys want me to react to more like not type of content. You know, so my best thing I always like to try and like obviously mix it up and stuff. It's not all
This powerful executive Sean Diddy Combs has occupied his presence in the music industry for the past 30 years, from his suspicious involvement in the demise of Tupac and Biggie, his secretive ritualistic parties in the backgrounds, as well as numerous accidental confessions, has made the public pre-decide that he is guilty of all accusations against him. Not only have multiple women filed formal lawsuits alleging him of violent sexual assault and humiliation, but now the federal government raided his home as they investigate his involvement in a global sex trafficking operation. Technically, at the moment, he is not being charged of any crime, but any day now, Diddy could feel the wrath of the American justice system. Today, to unearth the secrets he never wanted the world to know with the goal of determining one thing: did he do it or not? It's first very important to understand Diddy's potential involvement in the murders of Tupac and Biggie, because if you believe those allegations to be true, everything that happens afterwards makes total sense. In the mid-90s, Diddy, also known as Sean Puffy Combs, was in the middle of the infamous Coast versus West Coast hip-hop rivalry. It all began with East Coast rapper and Bad Boy Records signee, the Notorious B.I.G., versus his enemy, West Coast rapper and Death Row Records signee, Tupac Shakur, and it ended with both of them being assassinated via drive-by shootings. Biggie's murder remains unsolved to this day, but in 2023 we learned that Keefe D was the shot caller of the group of individuals that killed Tupac. Although we do not know the specific details as to why these two rap legends were killed, through all the theories, key information, and first-hand recollections from friends and witnesses of both murders indicate that Sean Combs had involvement in both murders. Biggie and Tupac were friendly and actually respected each other at first. Tupac had begun rapping in 1991 and within 2 years already had earned a platinum album. Biggie was a crack dealer who recorded freestyles for fun, until someone sent his tapes to Puffy, who signed him to Bad Boy Records for $25,000. Puffy was also able to use his status in the music industry to connect.
I mean, like, obviously back then, you know, with the like inflation and stuff like that, like, I mean, I guess like 25K, like, would be probably maybe on some like high ballers, maybe around like $250,000 worth. Maybe that's too much. Maybe 150 worth, 150,000 worth, and like, you know what I'm saying, back then in the 90s. But bro, just hearing like a legend like Biggie, bro, get signed for 20K, bro, that's already some shady like finesse. I mean, bro, come on. I'm not like the dude that does like contract type of shit. Is, you know what I'm saying, in the music business or whatever. But it's just like that don't even sound right, bro. That's crazy.
Pac became a mentor to Biggie. He once even asked him to be his manager. I was in the guy trained the way they used to be under me, like on the ticket, in the type of company. You showed me nothing to come on before I did keep it up and do it. Nobody's looking at me anymore. Tell the nigga, yo, if you want to make your money, I'm gonna rap for the bitches. Do not rap for the niggas. I told you, don't rap for the niggas. Rap for the bitches. Somebody records and niggas will want to push you. So all of a sudden, it changed from being listen to all your bullshit, listen to his style. It changed from that to the pop. Pac believes that Biggie used him as a blueprint, changed his whole style, persona, and music to be more aligned with Tupac. Many people speculated that Diddy also had a slight obsession with Tupac. He started dressing himself in Versace after Tupac did it first. He also got romantically involved in women after Tupac had ran through them first, like Sarah Chapman, who ran around with Tupac in the 90s and is now the mother of one of Diddy's children. Pac's claims aged like fine wine when recently the internet figured out that Diddy's most successful hit, Juicy, was actually stolen by a Mississippi-based artist called Notorious B.I.G., who released a song called Big Daddy a year before Juicy that sounded exactly the same. Is it a coincidence that Notorious B.I.G. and Notorious B.I.G. are similar, and the song is called Big Daddy, and Biggie started going by Big Papa? But many people believe this was the mastermind of Diddy, as he was a music industry expert who knew how to scout talent and assess a hit song before anyone else else heard it. They believe Puffy instructed his artists to steal from them boys who won and didn't trusted his boss and mentor. Puffy Dave's rivalry began as a music-based competition. Who had more music singers? Who had the better fashion, media representation, and cultural influence? The beef began around creeping into the mainstream, and the two being surrounded by legitimate gangsters. Tensions escalated to life-threatening conflict. In November 1994, Tupac was on his way to record some music at Quad Studios in New York City. Coincidentally, Biggie was there recording with Junior Mafia, which was a group of 4 friends that Big knew since their childhood. Puffy was there too, since Big was his artist, and anything that Big tried to record is technically owned by the Bad Boy label. Allegedly, a man by the name of Jimmy Henchman, who is now serving life in prison, was planning a robbery on Tupac since Pac owed him some money. Many speculate that Jimmy told Puffy what was about to happen, but Puffy did not try to stop it. When Pac was outside the studio, he looked up and realized rapper Little Cease, who was best friends with Biggie, was yelling at him from above. He was excited to see him because they were friends. He told him he was going to go downstairs and meet the lobby. Pac got to the lobby downstairs when some men attempted to rob him at gunpoint, which quickly led to conflict and Pac being shot 5 times. In the middle of backfire, he was gunned down, shot 5 times in what his claim was a murder attempt, and police called a robbery. As the police did their investigation, they could see Biggie looking around, scanning the area with his head down. Keep in mind that after Tupac was shot, he got in the elevator and went upstairs where dozens of Bad Boy affiliates were located. Pac was interviewed by Vibe magazine detailing the night he was shot and the energy of the people around him while he was bleeding out. Because Andre Harrell was there. Puffy was there. Biggie. Nobody approached me. I noticed that nobody would look at me. Andre Harrell wouldn't look at me. I had been going to dinner with him the last few days. Puffy was standing back too. I knew Puffy. He knew how much stuff I had done for Biggie before he came out. Based on...
I mean, bro, just like here, and by the way, when I give my opinion, just for not even just this documentary, just for like anything else in like the future, like, you know, this is just like my opinion, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like that I have to like say with, you know, I not want, but like in a way so like where people, you know, I feel like feel less. And, you know, take an example of, you know, this is also a reason why I'm super, you know, anti-social. Like I have friends, I have homies and stuff like that, but you're not really, you know, nowadays, especially like catching me out, doing things all about, you know, just like hearing the stuff that boils down to it. You talking about you were having dinner, like, you know, the obviously it's homies, like another, you know, dude or whatever, like for like the past 2 days, you know, and like you didn't really question that. Like, that would already have these suspects already. Like, why is, like, my homie drinking food, especially wanting to, like, chill out and get 2 days in a row? Like, you know, that shit is just, like, I'm just a naturally paranoid person. Like, I don't know, maybe it sounds like some overthinking stuff, but, like, I feel like when it comes to certain days in a row, you should never do the same thing in terms of, like, anything to anybody. You know what I'm saying? And then like mentioned about like their energies and stuff like before, like, you know, they took him to the hospital and stuff and he was laying there like eating shot and stuff. Like, I don't know, man, it sounds like it's instant.
Tupac's words even shows the media believe that he is hinting that Biggie and Puffy might be behind the attack, which bothered Biggie Puff since probably at this point they were still friends. And that's crazy.
They're on the zone.
I also understand that he got 5 times. To make things worse, a few months later, Pac was found guilty of sexual assault within serving 9 months in prison. This gave him tons of time to think and reevaluate his life. To add insult to injury, Biggie released an iconic cutthroat track called Ushachi, which felt like an obvious diss towards Tupac. But technically, it was recorded before Pac got shot, but it was marketed and released months after the incident. Regardless, the media developed the narrative that Biggie Puffy set up the shooting and now released a diss record bragging about their hit. And Puff's full intention for to stir up drama is to be confirmed by the former president of Bad Boy Records. Biggie might not have thought that he was able to use it was a success of the things that were going on and he was dealing with on all the levels.
It's just crazy because like that's just you just sitting here swearing like it's all legal. It's And they were trying to sit up there and tear apart, you know what I'm saying, two successful, African Americans and just fucking, say the next song. He had the song recorded way behind, and then he just tells just a couple of beats behind, and we can make a couple of extra $1,000 if you just make it seem like that this was, what it wasn't. That's very
record did what it was supposed to do. And that's
They're on the zone!
a perfect example of how my individual part works. But obviously, already thinking that they sent him up and are releasing this song with this wasn't the only shooting that Puffy was involved in. It's also important to know that Tupac signed to Death Row Records while in prison after the label owner Suge Knight promised to use his money to get Pac released. And they were in the process of getting Pac out. Suge Knight and his best friend Jay Robles, aka Big J, were at the Platinum nightclub in Atlanta. Suge confronted Puffy at the club and was choking him. Puffy's bodyguard, Wolf Jones, steps in to defend him, and then things got out of hand. Next thing you know, shots are being fired, and Suge's friend Big Jake was shot and killed. Whether or not Wolf shot Jake has never been confirmed, but Suge was holding Puffy responsible for the attack, which was enough to narrow down the feud between the two executives. Quick sidebar, recently fans have noticed that Puffy's firstborn biological son, Justin Combs, looks a lot like Wolf. How does your son look more like your best friend than you? Anyways, in October 1995, Tupac got out of prison and he wanted war. Tupac got out and immediately started taunting and scheming on Bad Boy Records as much as possible. In the days after his release from prison, he jumped into the studio to record his next album, Only Was on Me, and he talked about the anticipated tracks.
Full flag is off one for real still. That's gonna be all of them. Still one good that's gonna be a good one. Why do I call you good? Hey, that's gonna be a good one.
He mentions Faith, aka Faith Evans, who was married to Biggie for over a year at this point. Imagine your wife jumps in the studio with your biggest enemy 1 week after he gets out of jail. Pac was also seen with Faith Evans at Whitney Houston's album release party. The rumor is that Biggie cheated on Faith and that she was trying to get back at him by cheating his mom. Pac also allegedly started messing around with Mary J. Blige, who was a close friend and business partner with Puffy. Then Death Row Records held a Christmas party in 1995 where a close friend of Puffy, Mark Anthony Bell, was mercilessly beaten and forced to drink urine after refusing to give Suge Puffy's mother's address.
Bro. I don't care if it's 1 on 45, bro. I'm fighting to the death, bro. Before I let
my fucking god.
You just get that one more. What?
Bell was mercilessly beaten and forced to drink urine after refusing to give Suge Puffy's mother.
Bro, I hope that is not true, bro. Like, yo, there ain't no way you're gonna have to just take me out. Just take me out, bro. There ain't no way a day in hell 20 shots of fucking piss, bro. Are you cheap, bro? How do you even do this? How do you even think of that, bro? That's just sick mind, bro. Like,
Mother's address. Tupac and Death Row did not let off the gas. At the 1996 Soul Train Awards, Biggie won the award for Song of the Year, and Tupac won Best Rap Album. After Biggie got his award, he took some pictures backstage and then exited the venue because he had to go to the airport to catch a flight, and that's when Pac and Suge pulled up in a Hummer and taunted him.
I was waiting for the car to come out. Suge and Tupac pulled up in the house. Tupac was too loud, was cursing on a bunch of stuff, and Suge came from the other side, trying to actually walk up to a chick. He was on the talk with him. The talk, of course, everybody got, everyone yelling and arguing. 4 minutes, but police and everybody got in front, kind of stopped.
Despite Biggie's gangster lyrics, he was really a chill dude who didn't want to beef with Pac. Remember, he looked up to him. He always thought they were friends, but as we were speculating, he seemed to be a pawn in a much bigger operation.
He knows you sent somebody to shoot that first time. Sure, do you think you could just make an arrest him, or you have no idea?
Tupac was a man of fire. A man who he believes was wrongfully convicted of a crime he didn't commit, was constantly being slandered by the media, and now feels was being disrespected by his biggest enemies, on top of being surrounded by real gangsters. He released a music video alongside Snoop Dogg called Two of America's Most Wanted, which featured a skit mocking Biggie and Puff.
Please don't kill me. It was Puff's idea. I'm just a rapper, man. Please don't take me out the couch.
Interestingly, Tupac himself instructed the Biggie actor in the 90s to say it was Puff's idea, as if he knew the truth, and Pop released one of the most abrasive and iconic diss tracks of all time, Hit 'Em Up. He starts off the song claiming he had sex with Biggie's wife, and then directly calls Biggie, Puffy, and Junior Mafia all bitches, along with various other threats. The pressure was on Bad Boy. Pac was not going to stop, and Puffy couldn't take the heat. Biggie's bodyguard, Gene Deal, recalls when Puff reached his tipping point.
He said, I'm a businessman. I'm about making money. But something gotta change. I don't give a f***. The dollar gotta die, me gotta die, or should not go to jail. Something's gotta change.
Gene was taken back. He wondered if Puff realized that he just said he didn't care if his own artist died. At the same time, he still wanted to play gangster games. As we all know, these gangster games only lead to two outcomes: death or jail, and Tupac would meet his fate on September 13th, 1996. Pac and the Death Row Squad were attending the Bruce Seldon vs. Mike Tyson boxing match in Las Vegas. Hyped up from the testosterone and the energy of the fight, Pac wanted some action. A Death Row associate pointed out Orlando Anderson to Pac, who was a Southside Crip gang member, a rival to the Piru Blood set that was affiliated with Death Row Records. Pac went up to Orlando and punched him in the face. Then Death Row associates put a beating on the man. Later that night, Suge and Tupac were driving down the East Flamingo Road to Club 662, when suddenly a white Cadillac pulled up beside them at a red light and opened fire on Tupac. He was hit 4 times, with a fatal shot piercing his lung. Just last year, Las Vegas police arrested a man called Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, who was a shot caller for the group of individuals that committed this crime, and he orchestrated the plan that was carried out. Ironically, Keefe D. has been confessing his involvement publicly on the internet for years. In 2008, he confessed that his nephew, Orlando Anderson, the man that Tupac punched earlier that night, was the one who actually pulled the trigger.
This is now identified as early nephew as the murderer of Tupac Shakur.
Bolstering PPD's claim was an informant in 1997 who told investigators that Puffy had hired the Southside Crip to kill both Suge and Tupac, and that the Crip who had jumped at the MGM was in the group that had done the hit. This was exactly the same story that PPD told us a decade later.
He also stated that Puffy offered him $1 million to kill Suge and Tupac.
Select bounties and become the hot shot. You'll be supercharged, like you drank the whole pot of coffee.
It's crazy.
Do I need that?
When he was asked about his confession, this was his response.
Documentary that claims, you know what it is. So we don't talk about things that are not. So we not even going to know that I appreciate you doing this aspect.
As you can imagine, Death Row was likely seeking retaliation for the murder of Tupac. Everyone at Bad Boy Records knew NYC, but they were especially not safe in Southern California. An LA Kingpin called Gene Deal, Biggie's bodyguard, and warned him that there was a hit place on Biggie in LA.
Somebody gets 26 years in the federal cell as a kingpin, bro.
Now dust yourself off and go burn those
Tell me
germs.
not to go nowhere. It's an ill. You get this information from a kingpin, bro. Charles Williams.
Despite knowing all this information, in February of 1997, they headed out to Los Angeles to follow Biggie's new album, Life After Death. Puffy also wanted to record some of his album, No Way Down, in LA. Those seats, Biggie's best friend, claimed that Biggie wanted to in LA.
He said, go, you go. Let's go. I always tell people, yo, why everybody always go, why I talk to this so long? Why do they tell me go? We're here because of him. If you feel like there's no threat, he wants to be here. It's our job to pull him out.
Biggie was not talking to the West Coast. he genuinely loved being in LA. He received a lot of love from fans,
where's the nigga that was right behind
DJs, despite being surrounded by his enemies. Instead of claiming to be the victor of his beef with Tupac, Biggie wanted to use his life to inspire change and squash the East Coast versus West Coast beef. The truth is, over the years, Puffy and Biggie had made so many enemies that they didn't really know who was after them, but they overstayed their welcome in the City of Angels and Big's demise on March 9, 1997. After presenting an award at the 1997 Soul Train Awards, he backboy crew attended the after party hosted by Vibe magazine at the Peterson Automotive Museum. Biggie left the party riding in the front passenger seat of a Chevrolet Suburban SUV with Puffy and other entourage members driving directly in front of them. As they stopped at the first red light, a dark-colored Chevrolet Impala pulled up alongside Biggie's SUV. An unknown assailant inside the Impala rolled down the window and fired multiple shots at Biggie's vehicle. Biggie was hit numerous times by gunfire and sustained 4 gunshot wounds. One of the bullets struck him in the chest, causing severe internal injuries. He was immediately rushed to the Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, but pronounced dead at the hospital that night. So what happened? Well, Puffy's business partner said that they had used up all their budget and security, so they couldn't hire extra security for this evening. CPD was also at this party and offered protection. Puff told him to stand down. Puff decided to ride in a separate car located in front of Biggie's. A security guard to deal very strange instructions rather than maximizing his protection.
I tried to ride on the side of the car. I said, yo, Jimmy, what you doing? Somebody on the side of the car. I have my gun out. So he says to me, if you don't get in this car, you ain't gonna never work for Bad Boy ever again. I said, man, you're gonna try to tell me how to do my job. He said, Jimmy, you don't get in the car. I go to get in the car. It's on these guys and let us keep all the way back. So now I got to put my leg sideways. What you doing? So we went to the way. I said, Kenny, run the next 3 lights. Kenny said, come on. I said, no, the next 3 lights, Kenny, or I'm going to drive. Kenny took off.
The first car ran the red lights, but the car behind them did not follow.
It's crazy. Unbelievable, bro. If this is something that's been around this whole time, like, how was he even, like gotten away with it? I mean, it probably don't even have the evidence of shit.
Proceeds had his head out the window trying to holler at some girls, and out of nowhere, the shooting took place. According to an FBI agent, Bill Carson, who worked on the case for several years, Big Knight hired a man to carry out the execution. However, the agent says that the original target was not Biggie. They were targeting Sean Puffy Collins. He also believes this story is the truth.
I believe you were good for Puff. They're trying to kill Puff that night. So whatever you have to do with the Muslim cat that told frame too. So whatever they're trying to kill Puff, you became a casualty of Puff shit.
On the last day to the hospital, Will sees they with the shooter right in his face with the descriptions of Jesus. This is what he said.
You see, at the hospital, he said, a Muslim shot me. And I said, it's the ball. You can see the right shirt for the time. He said, 290 $. I'm going to walk the fuck off.
Rosie's description of the man matches up to what the FBI uncovered. All in all, to say that Puffy saying the murder of the Private Baby is not exactly accurate. The origin of the beef and the escalation of the beef can most definitely be traced back to Puffy. Also, he definitely knew that danger was looking for Private Baby and did not even come close to trying to prevent cultivating deaths. Because at the end of the day, Puff was the one who benefited most from that time. Think about it from the perspective of Puffy the businessman. Tupac dies, and it's Biggie is like the ultimate gangster who warned his enemy with a diss track and then got him killed. That helps feed into the persona and selling records. Plus, with Tupac dead, there's no more competition. Biggie's inspiration and his idol, Biggie, got everything from, so no longer defend himself in the grave. Now, we know that Puff didn't exactly want Big to die, but he wasn't giving anything in his power to protect him. Additionally, Puff saw how much money that Bro was making after Tupac passed. Tupac's tour sold 67,000 records in the week following his murder. 2 months after he died, they released The Non-Killing Night, The 7-Day Theory, which Shakur recorded under the name Machiavelli. The game hit #1 on Billboard Hot 200 with first week sales of 664,000 and 250,000 to this day, Tupac has sold 75 million records, most of which came posthumously. Puffy owned all of Big's publishing. He allegedly purchased it from him for $200,000 years before he passed, which meant that everything he recorded or wrote for himself or other artists, Puff owned all of Big's percentage. Aside from the tens of millions of dollars in albums they sold posthumously, he was also
So even like still to this day, he's making a percentage off of that
a
stuff?
songwriter. He wrote all of Junior Mafia's album. He wrote for Lil Kim, for Mace. Also consider every single time he's been sampled over the years. Diddy has been making money on Biggie for more years than Biggie was alive. There were even suspicions that Biggie was aware of how much control Puffy had over his music and tried to sign over all his new music to his infant daughter, but passed away before he could get the business deals done. Biggie's mother, Belinda Wallace, has repeatedly expressed her distrust of Diddy. The truth is, Christopher accepted the illusion of a friend and mentor for about $25,000.
Yeah, bro, that was just what I was talking about in the beginning of the video, dog. Hey, and one thing too, mama's gonna always know best.
That's the amount Puffy
If she's even saying something sketchy.
That was a lot of money for Christopher back then as a 19-year-old. She continued by saying that she was glad her son does not have to witness that the very people that he thought he could ride and die with wouldn't think twice about using his mother. She added, "I'm glad that he is not here to see how they abused his image and his name." Diddy was filthy rich, extremely powerful, and evidently unpredictable. Imagine how easy it was to leverage his power in the music industry and his personal life. If you said no to him, in theory, he could blackball you, extort you, or maybe something more permanent. So consider that when we begin analyzing his history of suspicious behavior. Let's start with the mysterious.
Yo, bro. Sam. Like, how old was he at this time when he did this? Like, this is a whole corporation business office, done. A grown-ass man's business.
Let's start with the mysterious Puffy's Flavor Camp.
I don't know if that was a skit or...
musicians like Usher and give them a taste of the music industry. R&B sensation Usher was nothing short of a child prodigy. By age 13, he had already been discovered in Atlanta by L.A. Reid, and they sent him to New York City to record his debut album with Diddy. In 1994, Usher was just 14 years old. He moved into Diddy's house to be a part of his Flavor Camp.
Bro, oh my goodness. 14-year-old boy moving in with a grown man does not even sound right, dog. Yo.
Domination. A game of moves full of
Headshot, melee.
Take all the zones. Dominate them.
Nobody tried to, some woman didn't come
Allies capturing zone B.
I did say that there were very curious things taking place.
Usher has been very reluctant to discuss what happened when he met Diddy. In a 2004 article with Rolling Stone, he said, Puff introduced me to a totally different fetish, sex. Specifically, sex is so high. While he was in New York, he lived at Puffy's house in Scarsdale.
What does he mean by that?
There was only girls around. You open the door and see somebody doing it, or several people in a room having an orgy. You never knew what was going to happen. Some people look at this as nothing short of grooming for young boys. One time, Diddy himself detailed what living with Usher was like.
Back in the day, I was only somebody across the place. You know what I'm saying?
What does that mean, bro? He was a little bit older when he was about 10. Y'all was fighting over the Frosted Flakes. What is that? Is that like a clothing or something? What does that mean? You were fighting over the Frosted Flakes in a grown man.
It's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle on the Frosted Flakes because he's always getting us.
Bro, yo, fam, nah, fuck this. Bro, what the hell is that?
Remember your
Look at us right now, bro. Y'all fans doing like that nervous, like that time to laugh with like your homie knows telling some bullshit, corny joke, and he's laughing.
Get all the
But yo, Usher was traumatized right here, bro. He hasn't tried to smile one bit. Well, maybe right there, we're gonna nervous smile.
Over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's nervous smile. He fights the balls. That's nervous smile. Bro, what the heck is that supposed to mean, bro?
my brother for real. He's actually wrestled on the plus.
Bro, what does that mean?
You know that Alex was guilty, but he really was the only one that seemed to question what Diddy was talking.
Seriously?
I'm sure it looks kind of uncomfortable.
Oh no, look at him.
What Diddy was
What's Kevin Hart like trying to like, he was asking, looking like Diddy, he like his body
Alex was guilty, but he really was the only one that seemed to question what Diddy was talking about. But I'm sure it looks kind of uncomfortable.
Diddy was like push us to the side and Kevin Hart like that, like trying to like chill it all out type of like talking to us.
Was the only one that seemed to question what Diddy was talking about. But I'm sure it looks kind of uncomfortable. You notice why Diddy is very comfortable touching other people, embracing them, calling them bad names, and almost always the other person's body language screams they do not like him.
Come on.
But I'm sure it's not the only
Yo, nah, yo, this game creepy. Like, this is big deal. The fuck you just called out again?
the other person's body language.
Just like that part. There's something going down, bro. I don't know what it is, man, but I think it's about to be getting ugly for Diddy within these next 6 months, bro.
But I'm sure he's not the only artist in the industry who may have been a victim of Puffy's flavor campaign. Justin Bieber was also injured by Diddy early on in his career. Bieber, just after his 15th birthday, spent 48 hours with Diddy. Diddy gifted him a Lamborghini Gallardo and let the world know why he continued to work him back.
At least we got what we're doing. You check this clothes. Definitely a 15-year-old dream. I don't think I have legal garnish. It's 48 hours. Oh, hell nah, bro. That nervous slap. Yo, bro, what's going on, man?
Combs seems to be acting strange, but Justin seems alright. At the time, he was still a young star, glancing on his by the industry. 1 year later, his demeanor towards Diddy was much different.
Nah, bro, there's something. Oh my goodness, bro. Yo, bro, Diddy, bro. This is too fucking like creepy. Like, did you hear his voice crack in the beginning?
Stephen was much different.
That's that nervous sound good, like and then like also Diddy's like body language, you know, all jokes at truth and he's saying like, hey, the son out of and shit, like he basically saying trying to insinuate that I guess he's the reason why he was doing it, which means that what is sensitive or whatever you try to like, you know what I'm saying, and insinuate that you gave him or whatever for him to do like this is getting creepy.
Oh my god.
Enemies on scene.
This is sad. It's sad. If you don't see, if you don't, I don't even have to explain anything, man. If you just don't see what's going on, he said he had to go through his entire camp and then he finally was able to, and now he's basically.
By now, he's hosting lavish and star-studded parties that have become legendary. Diddy parties are famous for attracting A-list celebrities across all industries. I had the craziest mix. Almost over some of my boys from Harlem, Leonardo DiCaprio after he just finished Titanic. I had social rates there and relatives from down south. Diddy parties are typically hosted at luxury venues or his own private residences. To a non-empty modern-day Gatsby, a title he embraced with open arms. About the Great Gatsby, he said to a reporter in 2001, I am the Great Gatsby. However, people forget that one of Diddy's first parties ever resulted in the deaths of 9 attendees. In 1991, 23-year-old Sean Holmes was the promoter of the Heavy D's and Puff Daddy Celebrity Charity Basketball League at city colleges and at gymnasium. The infamous Puffy Party, where a stampede occurred, taking the lives of 9 people, was amongst rappers and game Morrison to attend. Boys to Men, Fight Dog, Big Daddy Kane, Jodeci, even LL Cool J, and Mike Tyson showed up. The crazy part is that fans can see all of the big stars for just $5. The first problem for tickets, keep in mind that this is fun, so people had to go to physical locations like the Apollo Theater box office to buy tickets. Tickets are also sold at local shops like Boston Ford. Free tickets were given out on the radio by Comcast Flex. The facility can only hold 2,730 people, but they had no idea how many tickets they sold, as no proper system was set in place to keep track. Despite this, Neil recalls Puffy requesting to cut security presence in half.
This particular thing, Puff calls me the day before we supposed to be the party, so they keep our job of the security outside. I got the couple officers. So I said, I just told 18 guys, I just need 8, I just need 8.
To clarify, the echo on this are included baseline numbers. One witness to the event said he did not have an echo disappointed without those Muslims. The Nostradamus 32 of the Bronx. But if the police, they can't do nothing. People in Harlem respect Muslims. It was blatantly obvious that more people were outside than could actually fit in the gym. Despite the overcrowding, tickets were still being sold at the door, said Mario Salvaggi, a city police patrol chief. Fans entered through 2 side exits and funneled down the stairs, through the doors, into the gymnasium. But once LL Cool J and Mike Tyson showed up, all hell broke loose. Hundreds of people started swarming from outside to rush inside, pushing people forward towards the glass doors. The glass doors eventually were shut and needed to be pulled towards the crowd to be opened. Guards tried to instruct people to fall back, but they wouldn't listen. The pressure became so great that the glass doors shattered and people fell through them. The outsiders began stampeding and stomping over bodies to get inside the facility, but the problem just got worse as they needed to go down the stairs into the gym. The doors at the bottom of the stairs also needed to be pulled open towards the crowd, not pushed into the gym. So hundreds of people were squeezed up against these doors in this tiny stairwell with no way to escape. Also notice that these doors don't have any windows. So inside of the gym, people were having a great time. From the outside, you could hear them partying, playing music, and rappers shouting over the microphone. They didn't even know that just on the other side of those doors were people fighting for their lives. Eventually, they got the doors open. As much as 6 people were stacked on top of each other and began spilling onto the gym floor, finally relieving the pressure. People began trying to perform CPR on the ground. Someone announced over the microphone that 3 people died right there. This caused chaos, and the people inside the gym began trying to leave, stampeding back through the exact same stairwell where people were trapped in the first place. Police identified 5 men and 3 women dead at the scene, and 29 people were injured. Another victim died in the hospital days later. All of them died from asphyxiation. 8 families of the deceased settled wrongful death lawsuits against Mr. Combs in early 1998. Mr. Combs ended up paying around $600,000 of a total $3 million or so. Now, clearly, this wasn't all of Diddy's fault. Legally, the courts claimed Diddy 50% responsible and the promoters 50% responsible. Regardless, death and dark energy seemed to lure Diddy since his earliest days. From there, he kind of stopped throwing parties for the public and started to keep them private. However, over the years, disturbing rumors have spread regarding what happens during Diddy's parties, ranging from group sex rituals to casting couches where newcomers would secure their future in various industries. The biggest rumor is that aspiring male talent would need to pleasure other powerful men to advance their careers, and apparently it's an open secret in the music industry, which is why Shannon Sharp erupted in laughter when Cat Williams said,
because we didn't even want the money. And you gotta tell him no. Right? You tell him no. I did.
Now, Diddy has 6 biological children with 3 different women. He has had multiple high-profile relationships with the likes of Jennifer Lopez, Naomi Campbell, and Cassie. But you'll notice that most of the party stories that circulate involve him being surrounded by men. Josh Ostrovsky, who goes by the Fat Jewish